One of the biggest reasons modern heritage is emerging right now is because people are craving homes that feel real, and this is where us thrifters have an upper hand. Today I'm breaking down what modern heritage actually means, the key elements behind it, and exactly what to look for when thrifting so you can create this look in your own home on a budget. So what is modern heritage? Visually, this design style blends classic traditional elements with modern simplicity. Think rich wood tones, vintage accents, and classic forms paired with clean lines and modern intention. We're moving away from all of that fast and mass-produced decor and more towards homes that feel collected, lived in, and rich in personality. So it's really not about copying a specific look, but instead, think about a home that feels like it's been built over time and not just styled overnight. Instead of rushing to fill a space, we can thrift and collect pieces slowly, investing in the right ones when we see them. Now, while we're thrifting, let's keep in mind those colors that make up modern heritage. We see a lot of those soulful muted tones and deep colors inspired by natural earthy pigments. Think muted jewel tones like deep greens, navy blues, rich plums, and even charcoal grays or blacks. When thrifting, we can look for these shades in furniture, throw pillows, blankets, or even smaller touches like vintage books, artwork, glassware, and decor. During Christmas, the Mission Thrift Store had a very generous card of free books, and I really lucked out with this lovely deep green vintage Christmas one. This navy blue planter is perfect for summer, and it was only $3.99. You might see it on my porch this year. Now, I had a lot of fun pulling together this entirely thrifted mood board in some of the popular heritage shades. What I love about this muted palette is that all the colors work together, so they can be mixed and layered over time. Thrifting lower commitment decor and heritage shades is not only more affordable and less overwhelming, but it's the perfect way to create those modern heritage moments without having to repaint an entire room. Now, when it comes to furniture, modern heritage prioritizes craftsmanship, often incorporating reclaimed or vintage pieces that carry a real sense of history and story. There's a strong emphasis on quality here. Keep an eye out for solid wood pieces, especially in medium to darker heritage tones like oak, walnut, or mahogany. Speaking of mahogany, this traditional Ethan Allen desk was only $10. Despite a few surface scratches, it was in great condition, and this style of desk typically sells for far more. Pieces like this are now finding their way back into modern offices, bringing warmth, contrast, and a sense of timeless design. This vintage highboy dresser was only $30, and it is a perfect example of craftsmanship with the detailed carved wood and classic brass hardware. Unlike mass-produced furniture today, vintage highboys were often handcrafted from solid wood and designed to age beautifully over time. We're now seeing them more and more in modern spaces for their storage practicality, added character, and timeless appeal. Vintage dressers, coffee tables, chairs, stools, and small side tables all make beautiful statement pieces, adding practical function while layering in the warmth and authenticity that define modern heritage design. We're also seeing a renewed love for upholstered furniture as people are craving a return to comfort and softness. We're shifting back to those homes that feel inviting, layered, and meant to be lived in. When thrifting, focus on pieces with sturdy construction and quality fabrics like linen, velvet, or leather. Pin cushioning is also making a comeback. This gray armchair was in very solid condition and such a steal for only $60. Pincushion furniture continues to be popular, blending traditional craftsmanship with modern comfort in a way that feels fresh and current. Another defining element of modern heritage is its embrace of pattern and layered textiles. At the thrift store, we can look for classic patterns like florals, microprints, stripes, plaids, and even subtle embroidery. This plaid blanket is pure wool and one of my favorite thrift finds. I'm not sure of its original maker since there were no tags, but real wool blankets like this can sell for hundreds. And the best part about this blanket is that it's actually reversible. One side features a classic huntsman plaid and the other brings in warmer rustic tones, so it really feels like getting two blankets for $20 instead of one. Muted plaids are also perfect for layering with other patterns and textures. I put together a quick sample to show how these patterns can be layered. So when we finally get around to doing our guest bedroom, I think I'm going to go with a color scheme that looks like this. Anchoring mixed patterns with solid pieces allows them to stand out while still giving the eye room to breathe. This creates a layered look that feels intentional, cohesive, and modern. Now, art is a huge part of modern heritage, and I mean lots of it. fuller walls are making a comeback where art truly becomes the main character in a room. People are tired of generic prints from places like Target or HomeGoods. Instead, think of traditional art like original oil paintings, vintage landscapes, hand-painted florals, equestrian and animal art. All these things have a sense of familiarity and feel authentic. And one of the easiest ways to spot an older piece is by checking how it's constructed. If you flip it over, the back can actually tell you a lot. You'll often see hand-assembled details like twisted wire, metal loops, or bolted hardware, rather than the glue or the staples used on most pieces today. This craftsmanship gives these pictures a timeless charm and makes them feel truly one of a kind instead of mass-produced. One of my favorite finds that I actually thrifted off Marketplace for only $10 is this limited edition print by Walter Campbell. Signed pieces like this typically sell for significantly more today, especially when they're in good condition, which makes this such a special find. And when we're sourcing artwork, let's pay attention to the frames as well. Keep an eye out for dark woods, thin black, and ornate gold. One of my favorite things to do is if I find a frame with a good structure, I like to use craft paint and play around with different golds. I have my favorite metallic set which I use all the time. Each frame usually only needs one dark base coat in a brown or black, and then depending on how strong you want your gold or copper to be, you can add as many coats of this as you want. I've done this with a good handful of thrifted frames over time. Modern heritage embraces much more than just paintings hung on walls. It's about layers, texture, and collected pieces. Decorative objects are being elevated into statement art too. At the thrift store, you can find tons of great pieces like collectible plates, tapestries, vintage textiles, and even small rugs. One of my personal favorites to thrift are those really pretty plates and saucers. Not only are they affordable, but they're very easy to mix and match with and can make a big impact relative to their size. I was so excited about this set of 10 Mayan Meekin plates that I only managed to capture their journey out of the thrift store. The ruffled edges and the subtle crazing are such beautiful details, and many Mayan Meekin patterns are now discontinued. I've seen single plates selling for around $12, and most listings only include a small handful of pieces. Needless to say, finding 10 of these for only $1.99 each feels like an incredible find. I put together a small sample showing how these, along with other plates, can be mixed into a gallery wall, and I'm happy to report that everything in this sample is 100% thrifted. One of the most defining details of modern heritage is its appreciation for aged metals, and I'm not talking about shiny chrome or anything overly polished. Instead, we're seeing a return to metals like antique brass, aged copper, pewter, and true silver, especially pieces with visible patina. While we're thrifting, we can keep an eye out for candlestick holders, brass lamp bases, trays, vintage silver, which the thrift store always has tons of, and if you get really lucky, you might even come across some copper. I couldn't grab this adorable kettle fast enough. Earlier this year, I saw another one but left it at the store because we didn't have the right place to display it, and I'll admit I had serious regret afterwards. Luckily, this one came along at just the right time for an even better price, and I actually like it more than the first. This is what I like to call a true blessing from the thrift gods. I think these are super cute. They're only like $2 each. I'm kind of tempted. I've gotten so lucky with some of these finds, as you can see. I honestly cannot stay away from a good aged metal. I think I also have a little bit of a candlestick holder obsession. Let me know if you also have that. And one thing I love about modern heritage is that mixing these metals is actually encouraged. So you can use things like brass, silver, and copper all together in the same space. And remember, patina is a feature, not a flaw. And speaking of pieces that wear well over time, real and natural materials are a huge part of modern heritage. Things like stone, ceramics, wool, and leather don't just last the test of time, these materials get better with age. That's what makes them such good investments. Let's be on the lookout for real natural wood pieces, wool blankets, handmade pottery or vases. They bring a sense of history and authenticity compared to other materials that just look cheap and disposable over time. I actually had to do a double take when I spotted this because it looks like something straight out of Olive Atelier. This beautiful terracotta olive jar even came with the stand included, and it was only $10.99. Terracotta olive jars have become incredibly popular for their old world feel, natural texture, and timeless sculptural shape. Authentic versions can easily sell for hundreds of dollars, and even the metal stand alone from Olive Atelier retails for $45. I personally do not feel like this had any business being in the thrift stands, and it even says here, made in Egypt. Judging by the stamp, it looks like this piece may have been made to replicate ancient Egyptian amphorae. Pieces like this don't just feel like historical artifacts, they also look beautiful in our homes, bringing in that sense of history and natural character that sits right at the heart of modern heritage design. And perhaps the absolute best part about modern heritage is that this style celebrates everyday essentials as part of the decor. Open shelving becomes a place to display traditional, functional pieces instead of hiding them away. When we're thrifting, we can look for things like baskets, crystal or etched glass, ironstone plates, pretty table linens, and other classic serveware. These pieces are both beautiful and highly useful. Now, I am such a sucker for blue chintz, so when I spotted this lovely little pitcher for just $2.99, there was no way I was leaving it behind. Blue chintz has made a big comeback in modern heritage design for its pattern, softness, and that collected over time charm. Pieces like this are especially valued today because of their craftsmanship. Fine bone china made in England is known for its quality and timeless appeal, and blue chintz patterns layer beautifully with ironstone, natural wood, and simple white ceramics. This is a reoccurring theme throughout my serveware collection. I got really lucky with these 8 etched water glasses here. Usually they only come in like either 4 or 2 or sometimes 3. And then I also love this napkin holder here. That was really cute. I think these would look so nice at Easter time. And let me know if I'm not the only one here that's permanently obsessed with blue and white. I just cannot get enough of it. And since we finally have open shelves in the dining room, I'm going to have so much fun styling. The first thing I like to do is choose my favorite pieces and visually balance them on the shelf. From there, I play around with smaller groupings and little moments until everything feels complete. Modern heritage is all about that real lived-in feel, and honestly, that's why I think it's here to stay. Remember that this style is built slowly. It can start with what you already have, so things like heirlooms, personal art, or even your favorite everyday dishes. From there, it's just about curating intentionally over time and letting your home evolve naturally as you do.
I wanna make this forever. I wanna make this forever.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy thrifting.